Hello and welcome back to my beach resort toy box. Before I begin, I want to let you know that I will not be doing a video on Wednesday because I aired 2 extra videos last week. The special celebration video for reaching 3,000 subscribers and the build video for the new Game Grid toy box that you saw on Friday and Saturday. So I actually created and posted 5 videos last week, and I need a little break. So I'm going to take this Wednesday off. But I'll be back on Friday with the next episode of Toy Box Tutorials. But for today, I'm here with Groot, and we're going to show you a way to play basketball in the toy box. My idea for this game is based on the version of basketball that was available in Flynn's Arcade in the Toy Box Hub. When the Disney Infinity servers were still online and you had an account, you could go inside the arcade and play a variety of online multiplayer games, and a 4-player version of basketball was one of them. Unfortunately, once the servers shut down, this game was no longer accessible. So I've done my best to recreate this basketball game, and I've adapted it for 2 players by reducing the size of the arena. Once again, let me bring in Mrs. Toy Box to help me demonstrate the game, and then I'll show you how to build it. Okay, I'm here with Mrs. Toy Box. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And we'll step on the challenge maker, invite others, and let's play basketball. Okay. Now the goal is to push the ball or shoot it or hit it to the goal for Super Cannon at the opposite end. And that's an effective way to do that. Oh, you were robbed. Oh, man.
I am Groot.
Hey.
I am Groot.
Oh, sent the ball way over there. Oh, man. Oh, did it go up? No, it went wide. No point for me either. No, 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 no. Don't go near her cannon. Ah! Yep, point for you. 2 points. Interesting. Ah, man. Ah, that ricochet. Uh-oh. Heading towards the exit. Hold on. Let me go make sure this doesn't go outside. I forgot to lock that door. There we go. Okay. Got your camera? Yeah, you're struggling with that a little bit. It's kind of hard when you're up against the wall. There you go.
It's a grand day, isn't it?
Ah!
I am Groot.
Oops. You gotta watch out for the cannon yourself. If you get too close, it'll pick you up. Hey, I get 2 points. Oh, man. No, 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 no. Nice. Ah. Go, 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 go. There we go. Oh, man. Ah. Ricocheting arrow. I can't even get near the ball. Although you may have given me a point. Oh, no, you didn't. It went wide. It bounced.
Just lucky shot.
Yeah. Yeah, your cameras. There you go. You got it? Ah. Wow, you ended up winning. Nice. Okay, so now that you've seen the game, let's build it. And I've already constructed part of the arena, so let me start by showing you how to build that. So what you're going to do is start with the stadium gate. And you can see how I've placed that. And then you're going to put 2 straight sections on either side, followed by the curve, 1 straight section wide and another curve all the way around. And then I also placed some of these stadium lights around the back just for decoration. And these are on the seams between the 2 stadium stands that it's in front of. And those go all the way around the perimeter. So that's what I've done so far. And then we'll go down to the blocks drawer. The basic blocks, we're going to use the large floor, which I've already styled, and I'll show you how to style this in a moment. But you're going to bring this right up to the edge of the stadium stands and then 1 little nudge under like that. And I've styled this to use the planks theme. That works best, I think, for looking like a basketball floor. And then at this point, you're just going to fill in the floor pretty much all the way around. And there's really not too much to fill in. It's a fairly small area. Until you get to the other end, and then it gets a little bit tricky. Only because the floor is going to be so large. You don't need something that large for the other end. You can see that doesn't quite go all the way up to the stand there. So then we're going to use the small floor to plug the gaps. And then it won't hang out the back side of this, or it'll look kind of ugly. Alright, so there is the floor of the basketball stadium. And I think that looks pretty good. Alright, and then the last part of the build is for the top part of the arena where the basketball hoops are placed. And to place that, what you're going to do is line this block up with the edge of the terrain of the stadium stands there, and then bring this out a little bit. And we're going to change the style on this. I have to scroll a ways because it's like on the opposite end of the drawer. We're going to use the Wood 1 theme. I'll set that to be my theme. Alright, and then we're going to also need a second piece. So we're going to line this up with the middle of this stand over here and bring it straight ahead like that. I dropped that other one. Perfect. Great. And then we'll just kind of do the perimeter of this, followed by this little wedge block, just so it doesn't look quite so square. We gotta have something in that little corner there. There we are. And then we need the basketball hoops. And this is going to sit up here just like that. One on this side, one on that side. And then we need the super cannon. And we're going to place this about like that to start with. That little blue, that little button is kind of right on the terrain seam. But let's change the angle on this and see what we got. So the tilt position is going to be 45 degrees. And that's actually perfect. All right. And that is centered. So now we need one on the other end, and we do the same thing over here. Except remember, we got that little block. This extra little block over here on the end. So we can't go by this terrain scene. We got to back it up one block. And again, we'll tilt the super cannon to 45 degrees. And you got to be careful when you're playing not to shoot those buttons, because there's no way to lock it into that position that I've been able to find. All right, and if you did it all right, the little red dot should be right over top of the basket, about the same relative place on either end. And then the last little thing that I like to do is place this little decoration out of the decorations drawer. And you can see where it's located there in the drawer. And this is mainly for letting the players know which end of the field to go for. So player 2 will be yellow, they're going to go this way. Player 1 is blue, they go the other way. And that's really all the team colors are for, is to help the players know which basket is theirs. Alright, so there is the basketball stadium. And that's a pretty easy build. Well, let's look at the creativitoys that we're going to need. We have a challenge maker. We've got a scoreboard. We have the timer. I have 2 logic gates, a repeater, a randomizer, and the orange and blue team activators. And we also have the locator. I'm going to pick this up. We're going to bring this to the middle of the stadium, centered that way. I want the little blue dot facing this way, and we're going to put this right underneath that overhead beam, as you can see. Again, make sure the blue dot is facing to the opposite end of the court. And then we're going to drop a second one over here underneath this beam and rotate it so that it's facing that way. That'll be player 2's start position. And we also have a falling object generator. So we're going to pick this up and put this in the exact middle of the stadium. So it's centered that way, it's centered that way. We'll go ahead and drop that. Okay. Now we just need to set the properties and hook everything up. So for the challenge maker, all of the default properties here are going to be fine. There's nothing you need to change here, although you might want to change the challenge type to start on foot. But you might also want to use mounts in here, so I'm actually going to leave it set to all vehicles and mounts, because as you notice when we were playing the game, sometimes it can be a little bit slow pushing the ball around. So again, mounts are not a bad thing to use in this game, like we did with our polo game. On the scoreboard, for the properties on this, we're going to set the play to count to the maximum number possible, which is that. And the rest of the properties are all fine. For the timer, the target time, we're going to set this to be 180. That will be 3 minutes. Visible display is off. Countdown is on. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to press that button. All right. On the repeater, I'm going to set the rate to 2 seconds. And I believe that's everything that has properties that we need to worry about. Oh, and the basketball hoop. That's set to none, so we're going to leave it that way. I kind of like having the ball drop through and seeing it drop through versus having it disappear and dropping a fresh ball. That works out pretty good. All right. So let's start with the scoreboard. So once again, new logic connection on invites accepted. We reset the scoreboard. New logic connection when the game is started. We're going to come over to the scoreboard and activate it. New logic connection when the game is ended. We're going to remove the display. And a new logic connection when results are closed. We'll deactivate the scoreboard. And we also need to link the score results. And once again, this is a toy box where we have multiple scoreboards. This is now our third scoreboard in the toy box. So you want to make sure you come over to each of the other two challenge makers and set them up with a new logic connection so that when invites are accepted, we come over to the new scoreboard and remove the display. We're going to do that on the other challenge maker over there as well. And also, the level starter should do this too. And the level starter is right over here. So you're going to connect this up. New logic connection on catalyze. And remove the display as well. So we don't have multiple scoreboards competing for the display. And then likewise, this one, our new challenge maker, needs to disable the other scoreboards. So on invites accepted, we want to come over to the scoreboards for each of the tennis games. See, that would be here. And remove the display for that one. And you're going to want to do that for the other scoreboard as well. New logic connection on invites accepted. Turn off the scoreboard over here. Remove display. The only scoreboard we want shown is the one for the basketball game when we're using this challenge maker. All right, next up is the timer. New logic connection on invites accepted. Now there's two things I want to do on invites accepted. And the first one is to reset the timer. The second one, since I can't make another logic connection directly to that, as you can see, it won't let me highlight it. That's why we have this logic gate. So we're going to input into that. And then on this logic gate, a new logic connection on output will come and show the timer display. On the challenge maker, a new logic connection when started. We go to the timer and we start the timer. Oops. And then when the game is ended, new logic connection on game ended on the challenge maker. We go to the timer and we hide it. And there we go. And then on the timer, a new logic connection. When the timer is expired, it reaches 0, we come to the challenge maker and complete the game. And that gives us the game structure right there. All right, next thing we want to do is when the game starts, we need a ball. So on started, on the challenge maker, we're going to come up to the falling object generator and we'll generate the basketball. And once the game is over, we want to take the ball back out. So on the challenge maker, a new logic connection on game ended. Come up to our falling object generator, go all the way to the bottom, and remove all. And that takes care of the ball. All right. On the challenge maker, let's set up the starting positions. So, new locator connection. Player 1 is going to be on this side. They're going to be blue going that way. So this will be player 1's start position. On the challenge maker, a new locator connection. The other locator will be player 2's starting position. And then we want to put them on teams to kind of help them with the color to know which way to go. So we'll do a new logic connection on the challenge maker. And we're going to do this by invites accepted. We'll come over to the blue team activator. We're going to set player 1 to the blue team. And likewise, a new logic connection on invites accepted. We're going to set player 2 to the orange team. So we go to the orange team activator for that. And then at the end of the game, we want to remove the player from the teams. So a new logic connection. When the game is ended, we'll go to the blue and we will clear all players from teams. And that should clear both players, but for completeness, I like to go to both to do that. I don't know that it's necessary, but it just makes me feel better. Alright, so then the player is on the teams. That in combination with the exclamation points at either end tells the player which way they need to go. Alright. Now player 1 is going to be going this way. So this is player 1's hoop over here. So on this hoop, we'll do a new logic connection. When a basket is scored by a physics ball, we'll come to our scoreboard. And we will increment by 2 the score for player 1. And this one, new logic connection, when a basket is scored by a physics ball, come to our scoreboard, increment by 2 the score for player 2. Alright, and that is pretty much the game right there. But it'd be nice to have these stands cheering. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set this up like we've done in my other basketball game in Toy Box tutorials. We're going to set this up so that we have some constant cheering in the background. And so on the challenge maker, we'll do a new logic connection on invites accepted. We'll come and turn on the repeater. And a new logic connection when the game is ended, we'll turn off the repeater. And on the repeater, we'll do a new logic connection on repeat. So every 2 seconds, we're going to come to the randomizer and do an action. And we're going to hook the randomizer up to each of the stadium stands. And if you were counting, we have 3 here. We have 3 on the other side. That's a total of 6. We have 3 here. And we have 3 on the other side. So we have 12 stands. We only have 10 random trigger signals. So a couple of these signals need to activate multiple stands. But what you're going to do is a new logic connection on random trigger 1. We'll come over here to this stand. And we'll do some cheering. Again, I think the soft cheering is a little too quiet. On the randomizer, a new logic connection on random trigger 2. We can go to the next stand. do some cheering, and so on. And you're going to do that all the way around. I would recommend Random Trigger 1 doing these two, this one, and Random Trigger 2 doing this one. So when you get to this stand, this will do 1 and 2, and then this will skip on to the next one. So you've got 1, Random Trigger 2, Random Trigger 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how I'd recommend doing that. And so every time this repeats and goes off, it'll trigger a new stand to start cheering. Okay, you can make all those logic connections yourself. The other part of it is when a basket is scored. And to do the cheering for that, rather than hook each basket up to the 12 stands and make 24 logic connections, we're going to use this logic gate to do that. So on this logic gate, we'll do a new logic connection on output. You want to go to each of the stadium stands and have them do loud cheering. You're going to make that same connection for all 12 of the stands. And then for each of the baskets, you can do a new logic connection when a basket is scored by a physics ball. Come over and input into this gate. And then when that gate outputs, all the stands will be cheering loudly. And then you'll make that same connection to the logic gate for this one as well. So a new logic connection when a basket is scored by a physics ball. Come over to this logic gate and input. And if you wanted to get really fancy, you could set up a second logic gate here, have it go to all the stadium stands to boo, and then you can have logic connection on the hoop, so that new logic connection when a basket is scored by like a team. So you throw a player through here. You can have that go to the third logic gate, which will go to all these stands and have them boo. So if you start playing dirty or you mess up and go through the basketball hoop yourself, you can have the stands boo if you want. And that could be kind of fun. All right, I'm just double checking my notes. I think that's everything. So that's my version of basketball in the toy box. I hope you like it. Next time I'll show you how to go surfing. And as I said at the start of this video, that episode will air next Monday because I'm taking Wednesday off. In the meantime, hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my basketball game. As always, I've got logic diagrams on my blog to help you recreate this game in your own toy box if you want to do that. You can also click my photo in the lower right corner to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on Friday.